You know, there's this silent drain on our finances. It affects pretty much everyone, but we almost never see it happening. We're talking about the subscription trap. And in this explainer, we're going to show you exactly how to find it, and way more importantly, how to finally plug that leak.
All right, let me ask you something straight up, and I mean, really, take a second to think about it. Right now, off the top of your head, how many subscriptions are you actually paying for every single month?
Yeah, I bet you can name the big ones, right? You've got your Netflix, your Spotify, maybe a couple apps you use here and there. It's easy to tick off 2 or 3. But the real number? Uh-oh. It's almost always way, way higher than we realize.
And look, if your number is higher than you thought, you are definitely not alone. This is a huge, huge issue. Most people are paying for stuff they signed up for months or, hey, even years ago and have totally forgotten even exists. It is the perfect definition of a silent money leak.
So, that brings us to the heart of the problem. And get this, it's not an accident. Nope, it's all by design. These subscriptions are literally engineered, psychologically, to feel like nothing. Just little whispers in the background of your bank account. So how does this trap actually work? Well, it's pretty clever, actually. First, each payment feels so cheap, right? $5 here, 10 there. Your brain just writes it off as no big deal. Then, the payments are automatic, so you never have that ouch moment of handing over actual cash. They're basically invisible, just another line on a statement. And because of all that, they are so easy to forget.
Okay, so these tiny, forgettable payments, they seem harmless. But what happens when you let them run for a while? What do they really add up to? Well, this is where that tiny little leak can turn into a full-on flood. And honestly, the numbers, they might just shock you. All right, let's just run some numbers with a super basic example. Let's say you've got Netflix, Spotify, and a few random apps. That can easily add up to, what, $45 a month? And let's be real, for a lot of us, that number is way higher. But hey, we'll stick with 45 for now.
So $45 a month doesn't sound like a catastrophe, but multiply that by 12. Suddenly, that little leak has cost you $540 in just 1 year. I mean, that's a weekend getaway, or a new phone, or just a nice chunk of change to put into savings.
But wait, it gets crazier. Let's zoom out to 5 years. That same $45 a month, it explodes into $2,700. $2,700. All of a sudden, that little expense doesn't feel so little anymore, does it? That is a serious amount of money, just gone.
And this is the real kicker. The part that really hurts. It's not just the $2,700 you spent. It's what you lost, the opportunity. If you'd invested that money, it could have grown to $3,500 or even more. That's the true cost, the money you never even gave a chance to make.
Okay, enough doom and gloom. So how do we fight back against this? Well, the good news is the fix is super simple. Seriously, it takes less than 10 minutes. We're not talking about some complex budget spreadsheet here. This is a quick, sharp action you can take, like right now.
It's just 2 steps. That's it. Step 1, scan. Pull up your bank statement or your credit card statement right now, scroll through the last 30 days and find every single recurring payment. Don't gloss over anything. Step 2, ask. For each one, you ask a really honest question. Did I actually use this last month? Did I get real value from it? If the answer is no, you cancel it immediately. No second thoughts.
There's a great quote from the source material that just nails it. You're not paying for value, you're paying for habit. And that's exactly what's happening, isn't it? With so many of these forgotten services, you stopped paying for the value a long time ago. Now you're just paying because you're in the habit of paying. It's automatic. Now let's be super clear about something. This is not about canceling everything you enjoy. Not at all. If you use something every day and you love it, fantastic. Keep it. This is about one thing, being intentional. It's about getting rid of the dead weight, the stuff you don't even use. It's about making a conscious choice. Keep the good stuff, cut the waste.
All right, so let's pull back for a moment. Because if we just focus on the subscriptions themselves, we're kind of missing the bigger picture. There's a much more important lesson hiding under the surface.
Here's the key takeaway. Subscriptions aren't really the problem. They're just a symptom. The real issue? It's those uncontrolled habits, that pattern of just letting money drift away without thinking about it. If you don't fix the underlying habit, believe me, that leak is just going to pop up somewhere else.
And this idea is actually a much bigger concept. You can think of it as a small leak. What's that? It's any of those tiny, unnoticed, repeating costs that just fly under the radar.
But over time, they create this massive drag on your finances. Subscriptions are the classic example for sure, but trust me, they're not the only one.
So that leaves us with one final and really important question for you to think about. Now that you know what a small leak looks like, what other ones are out there in your life? You know, the daily coffee runs, the little impulse buys online. What are the things that are quietly draining your resources and holding you back? Because finding those leaks and plugging them, well, that's how you really, truly take back control of your money.